For the first time in the Sharks' 25-year history, they have won 11 postseason games in one postseason. They are now officially one win away from going to the Stanley Cup Final, and we will be here to break it down for you. Welcome to Pucknology After Dark, following a crazy 6-3 Sharks victory in Game 5 of the Western Conference Final. If you want to join the conversation, here's how you do it, folks. Use the hashtag Pucknology After Dark. We will follow that along through the night, and we'll get your tweets and take your questions throughout the show. You can also follow us on Twitter using any of our usernames. PuckGuy14's mine, AJ_Strong, Eric Landy, at JAlexander46, and the main account at Pucknology. Thank you, Gene. You can also use the Google chat on the main YouTube site. What were you going to say, Landy?
I think Rocket Backhander thinks I look like the Geico caveman.
And with that, we'll introduce the guy who spells his name the right way, who looks like the Geico caveman and has a ton of laundry behind him, Eric Landy.
Yeah, laundry strikes again. Actually, no, it was this jersey because we won on the road in St. Louis when I wore this, so I decided, hey, we need some good mojo, so I have that, and I have my 25th anniversary cup.
I'm right with you with the water. Alongside us tonight, Gentry Alexander.
Hey, how's it going?
All
So
right.
I guess we were overreacting to the game 4.
What a fucking shock.
And that voice you just heard, the man, the myth, the legend, AJ Strong.
Dude, it's one of the best fucking third periods I've ever seen played by the Sharks in my lifetime.
Maybe right up there with Game 5 against LA.
No, Game 7 against frickin' Nashville. That game was just dominance, like pure dominance. I think that is the best Shark game I've ever seen. But this was a damn good third period.
And nonetheless, all of those games we just talked about happened in this postseason. We are now in uncharted territory, folks. They have won 3 games in the Western Conference Final. They have won 11 in a postseason for the first time ever. There is no doubt that San Jose should be getting excited for their Sharks. Absolutely not. And with the crazy game that they had tonight, and I'll start with you, Landy. Just up and down range of motions. After the first period, it was negative Nellies on the serving up craziness, and it just seemed like the Sharks could have just fallen apart right there, let everything fall apart, and just let it get away from them. But they somehow pull it off. What's your initial reaction?
Boy, I didn't know whether to laugh, to cry, to, crawl in a hole and die. Just the myriad of emotions that this game, really brought out. I mean, you saw the best of the Sharks and you saw the worst of the Sharks. It's interesting because DeBoer has really got a handle on this team as far as knowing when to play who, knowing to roll his 4 lines and stick with it even if you're losing and not panicking at the first sign of losing. It's just stick-to-itiveness, and I think that's been the hallmark of this San Jose Sharks team this year, is stick-to-itiveness, and I don't know that we've seen one since 2003 or 2004, whenever the last time we went to the Western Conference Finals against the Flames. Not the last time, but when we went against the Flames. That was the most hardworking team I've seen. But this is damn close. I mean, this probably is a harder working team than that team, to be honest.
All right, AJ, good evening to you, sir. Again, yeah, range of motions going crazy, but definitely power play wise, they found their rhythm tonight.
Oh yeah, and really funny is a local radio broadcaster. We won't name names because they never give the Sharks any love anyway. So, local radio broadcaster actually interviewed a gentleman from the St. Louis Blues flagship station today, and funnily enough, he said this game would come down to special teams, and he thought that it would be in St. Louis's favor. So he was half right. The game followed the numbers. If you look at it, it's like every time the Sharks have thrown up a stinker, they've come back and they've won the next game. When like Pavelski has a point in a game, the Sharks win. When the Sharks score first, the Sharks win. I mean, this entire game followed all the numbers. So whenever you talk about trends or anything, trends are bullshit. Well, they're not always bullshit. Sometimes they're bullshit, but not always. Stick tap to Mark fucking Purdy of the Mercury News, dude. Called it. During the second intermission, he said the last time the Sharks got out of a second period 3-3, they ended up winning 6-3 versus LA. And what happens tonight, dude? Winning lotto numbers. You can just DM them to me. I'll take them. It's all good.
Me first.
Yeah. My only complaint is I thought Jones was a little too aggressive. This is the first time where I felt like Jones kind of had the yips a little bit. He didn't look like his calm, cool, collected self that we're so used to seeing. And my favorite part, I think, of the night was tons of people tweeting out about the Roman Pollock fight being, oh, you idiot, why do you take that penalty right there? And then all of a sudden, oh, wait, he saved it when it came back and they saw the replay. Oh, okay, no, Pollock did the right thing. He saved a goal. That could have been a goal right there, and he got them to have the whistle and that goal. Okay. And then, of course, what happens? St. Louis scores on the power play, and it's back to Pollock, what an idiot you are. So I got a big kick.
That's true.
I got a big kick out of the back and forth that all happened within about 90 seconds on that. But I still go back to that ridiculous, the ridiculous third line play from the Sharks in the third period. I mean, holy crap! You cannot say enough about Tierney and Donskoy's contributions in this game, but especially in the third period. And no one deserved to be rewarded more than Tierney tonight. Good, great job on that empty netter. I mean, having the puck stolen and then him turning around and stealing it right back on the boards. I mean, just can't say enough good things about those guys. I still want to see better play from Paul Martin, though. Damn it.
As the presiding co-president of the Chris Tierney fan club, I must say I was very happy with that effort tonight. He played a defensive gem tonight. Really did. I mean, did a lot of things right, but it was good to see him rewarded. 5 goals in the playoffs, boys, from our little youngin, Chris Tierney.
And Gentry, good evening to you, sir. All that out of the aside, what did you take from tonight?
Just when your big guys needed to show up, they did, and that's how you win championships and depth. But good God, what some clutch plays and a little bit of puck luck and some clutch plays from that power play unit. We needed to tie it up. And the one person you don't leave alone in front of the net, and you leave him alone, and he buries it and ties the game, and then a Pavelski and Deke to win it all. I mean, what a performance from our captain. 3 points, 2 goals, 1 assist. I mean, what more do you want from the guy who wears the C on his jersey? I mean, good God. And then, I mean, I would have liked to have seen this game go a little bit more defensively in the way, but hey, however we win, I'll take the victory. But I think the Sharks really need to start looking at their lineup and saying what needs to be adjusted for a pivotal game 6 back at the tank, because and I expect everybody in San Jose, if you have tickets for that, you better come and you better get loud.
Well, there's clearly a demand. I tweeted out earlier, before this game started, I looked on StubHub. Tickets for Wednesday's game were $94 at the lower end, and now the bottom price right now is already at $120, and I'm sure it's only going to go higher as time marches on for the next 24 to 48 hours. One thing I also wanted to say, too, is besides the Sharks just absolutely locking it down in the third, And I've never, I just, this entire playoffs, when they've needed it, that third period, they come alive, they lock it down, they keep everything to the perimeter, their forecheck is sick. How did we never see this under Todd McClellan? Never on a consistent basis did you see this. We've seen it more in this playoffs than we saw under, like, McClellan's entire era here. So, fucking DeBoer, dude. Wish we would have saw you 8 years ago.
We
You know what?
almost did.
You know what?
I'm. That was my point.
Oh, gotcha. I got it. Sorry, Andy. Go ahead.
I just think, especially when it comes to coaches and saying, oh, you know, should we have this guy or this guy? There was a reason why he wasn't hired at the time, and he needed to go through his trials and tribulations to get to this point and to be a better coach. You know, we had him right after his stint in Florida. He probably wouldn't have been good with the kids because, you know, he did a lot of, you know, kid bashing in New Jersey. You know, he needed to go through having issues. So, you know, I hate playing the coulda, shoulda, woulda game because it's just, you know, you rack your brain thinking about the possibilities. So, you know, it's good that we got him now. You know, McClellan's era was a very successful era, but in the end, I don't think that the style matched the personnel, so to speak. And, you know, especially the style in the West, in our division. But we could talk about that for ages because that's a small dissertation in itself. But Peter DeBoer's style has melded with this team. They fully bought into it. And when they're on their game, they can just go into defensive lockdown with the best of them.
Well, no one can bring a party down quite like Gen X. Him tweeting in, you never had a bottom six under Todd, and go back to what he said at the start of the season, you only get one good year under DeBoer. Well, if they get 5 more wins out of it, I'll take it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. No disrespect Gen X, but yeah, absolutely. You gotta appreciate what this team has done so far. It's just an unreal thinking, unreal thought process. I can't even talk, guys. That third period. Let's put it this way: how critical are icings? Because that face-off wouldn't be in the Sharks' zone if the Blues didn't ice the puck at the beginning of the third period. That set up a play that won the draw to Burnsy, that got it to Jumbo, that sent it over to
Hurdle.
Hurdle, and we got a fired shot, and it was tipped by Pavelski. 16 seconds into the period, we're up 4-3. Set the tone for the entire period and kind of put St. Louis on the heels. And that's what the Sharks need to do. And that's what they got done tonight. Go ahead, Gentry.
No, it was kind of like almost like an accurate representation of that game against LA. We scored early in the third, and it proved to be, you know, the downfall for the Kings because they had no response and they were playing on their heels. I feel like if you and if you can play on the I'm trying to think of the weaknesses because we know Backus is hurt. He's feeling something. Something's ailing him. And if you can you know, get on Backus early and quick, and now you've got Game 6 coming into your barn and you get last change, use that to your advantage and just try your best to just, you know, have another repeat of what you did in Game 3. Because that was a defensive masterpiece that they pulled on, and now you have the chance to do that again. Coming back from a road trip, you know, you have the momentum. Seize it.
Yeah, I mean, I think though we all talk about momentum from game to game, and it's so hard to gauge because the Sharks got their lunch handed to them in Game 4, and they came back with this defensive gem.
As they have this playoffs.
As they have this playoffs. So while, yes, I think momentum does exist from game to game, I think it can also change on a flip of a dime. And I think, for me, the most important thing was that they came out and they got that first goal. Because whenever the team scores first, whatever team scores first is the game winner. I mean, how has it gone since the start of the series? So, you know, that first goal was the most important thing for me, And then, when they got down, I figured, okay, maybe they can tie it up, but they just can't let the Blues get too far out. They can't have a 2 or 3 goal lead, because the Sharks, they can come back, but it'd be tough. So it was good that they kept them close and then tied them up in the third, and then, just went into the third period and just played really well. Played, Joe doing his thing, Bernsey getting that shot on net, Chris Tierney with the empty netter, and then Joel Ward just to top it all off. It was a good third period.
Well, we got a note in from Chris pointing out the Sharks have gone 0 on the power play 6 times this postseason, and in the following games they scored 3, 2, 1, 2, 0, and 2 power play goals. So, hey, I've been beating on this special teams drum all season long, and you guys know it. But I'm blown away by this, and the fact that the Sharks have shut Tarasenko down. 6 points in the first series, 7 points in the second series, 0 points so far. Have shut him down. If you remember the way Scott Hannon absolutely shut down Peter Forsberg versus Colorado back in, I believe it was 03, 04.
2004, yep.
Yeah, that season. So they've really done the same thing. I mean, to me, that was the height of Hannon as a Shark, that performance of him shutting down Peter Forsberg, and that's what they've done to Tarasenko. But I would venture to say Tarasenko might be hurt at this point, Eric.
Yeah. Vince G and Zachary Devine both chime in really good points. They were saying that right wrist looks a little wobbly. I might even venture to say that he's still kind of affected by the birth of his son as well, because he doesn't look like the decision making is all there, and that tells me either he's tired or he's battling a concussion or something like that. So I think that he's, I think that there might be something else along with a wrist injury as well. So.
And with that, we'll bring on Ian Reed to tell us what it's like to be a father and how tiring it can be.
Yeah, because he just tonight he just looked really disoriented. I mean, he wasn't even making, chip passes, and wasn't, was giving it up here and there. He just doesn't look right to me. And we saw Jumbo go through that, and lo and behold, Jumbo was concussed. So.
I don't know. I'm just so goddamn excited and elated. 25 years, 1 win away. The furthest this franchise has ever gone. Every game is now the most important. And I was talking with somebody on Twitter about this just before we came on. Was tonight's game the most important win in franchise history? And I said yes. It used to be. Winning Game 7 versus Detroit in '94. Thank you, Jamie Baker. Is now number 2. Tonight is now number 1. You've gone farther than you've ever gone.
Generation X Wing chimes in, you can't get a concussion from childbirth. No, I'm just saying he's playing.
Dude, that's a full contact childbirth.
Unless that kid comes out like a
that kid could shot out like a cannon, and you take the and you're not wearing the goalie helmet, you might get a concussion.
Right.
They're pretty slippery when they come out,
Well, when he comes out, if he comes out like an Alvin in a slap shot, I mean, shoot. Damn. I mean, come on. No.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, Davalos. Seriously, dude? Stop being bitter about 2011. Dude, we stopped being bitter about 2011 after we swept not we, I'm not on the team. We stopped being, as fans, bitter about 2011 when the
Patrick
Sharks
Marleau swept
the Sharks out of the playoffs, and Vancouver has been a shell of a team ever since. We got over that back then. We're not bitter about that anymore. You can be bitter about Boston and everything like that, but as Sharks fans, we're not bitter about that. And keep your fingers to yourself, Davalos.
Did somebody say Vancouver?
No.
Dude.
Back to you, Landy.
Oh boy.
Where was the mute button, Landy?
Yeah. Well, AJ's now did it a little slow.
Come on.
Ryan
that one.
Ryan McCann asking, are we seeing Elliott or Allen on Wednesday?
Well, Roenick on the postgame already saying it's going to be Elliott, that you have to go back that way. I don't know. Is this this is a time when you really want Ian on the program because are we starting to see now shit happening in St. Louis like we've seen happening in Pittsburgh?
Ooh, boy, yeah, because you shit on your guy that got you there, then you bring in a cold, shaky goalie, and then you're going to shit on the cold, shaky goalie now? I mean, St. Louis did not play a bad game. I mean, they played okay. I think the biggest problem for them was that third period, but it was the Sharks on lockdown. So do you continue to play the guy that you've been playing for, or do you play Elliott and go back to that? I mean, if I'm a Sharks fan, I don't want to see Elliott. I mean, that's me. But if I'm a Blues fan, I think
and Ian Reed joining to tell you about fatherhood.
Wait, let Landy finish and then we'll go to Ian.
I think Elliott is the better of the two choices. As a Sharks fan, I don't want to see Elliott, though.
All right. With that, to talk about childhood and hockey, the Canadian robot on his anniversary, no less, Ian Reed.
I heard my name 3 times, and I'm like Beetlejuice. I just show up.
and we welcome you, Padre.
Yeah,
the co-president of the Chris Tierney fan club.
Those babies just they come out, and sometimes they hit you in the head, and then you're concussed. It happens.
It's like we now have audio of the birth of Ian's first child.
And then I was concussed, and I was never the same. Never playing again.
Which means Tarasenko's baby has now been suspended 41 games by the Department of Player Safety.
Exactly.
Right.
No, I'm just going to chime in super quick here. I think that the Pittsburgh was more of I think Pittsburgh's situation is different than St. Louis's a little bit. I think Pittsburgh just screwed up. Marc-Andre Fleury hasn't been good in the playoffs since they won the Cup, and he didn't really lose them that game. I feel like the Blues are different because Elliott didn't cost them that game either, but the Blues they needed something to just kind of kick them into gear, and you could argue that the switch to Jake Allen did that. It helped them because they're both different goalies, Brian Elliott and Jake Allen. Jake Allen's a lot more proficient at handling the puck, and we've watched time and time again as the Sharks tried to take the zone, and Jake Allen knocked it back out. Whereas Brian Elliott's obviously a lot more comfortable, just sticking in the net. I think that it's different for that reason. I think that Jake Allen brought something extra. Now, they probably go back to Elliott because Elliott's been their guy. And personally, I probably would have stuck with Elliott the whole time, but I understand why you put Jake Allen in for his puck handling ability to try and stop the Sharks from just having so much zone time. And for the most part, I thought it worked. I thought that the Sharks didn't have nearly the amount of pressure that they put on when they had previous in like games 2 and 3, for example, specifically.
So who would you go with then? I mean, in game 6.
I would probably go with, if I'm St. Louis, I'm probably going back to Elliott. Elliott's the guy that got them where they are now. You've got to let him try and stop the ship from sinking, I think. Jake Allen wasn't great. I mean, he was okay. I didn't think he was, I understand the score effects are going to play a factor, but I don't think he was balls out amazing last game, and he wasn't that good this game. So, I think that probably in hindsight the wrong move to do, although it makes a hell of a lot more sense than Pittsburgh, who I think Pittsburgh honestly just threw away their series.
Yeah, I want to see Bay versus Bay. Oh, sorry, Bay Area versus Bay Area. Never mind. Ryan McCann.
No, all right, no.
Ryan
Before
McCann. Hey, it wasn't a fucking Shorthouse impression, man.
No. Before we go on that though.
Hold on, Ryan McCann pointing out that Canadian children are quicker because they're with skates and pads already on. So
that's true.
All right. I just want to clear this up for the East Coasters. There's only one Bay Area. Okay, it's the San Francisco Bay Area. It's not the Tampa Bay Area. That's baloney. It's San Francisco. That's it. Discussion over.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night,
Thanks for
everybody.
showing up.
Yep. Mike, drop.
I hate that. I hate that bullshit. It's the San Francisco Bay Area. That's
And
it.
this is number 7 on the things that Eric Landy hates. Back to you, Puck Guy.
All right, guys, I'm getting out of here. Have a good show.
Ian, have a great night. We'll talk to you on Wednesday.
All right, bye.
Now, what do you hate more, Landy? Is it Tampa Bay being referred to themselves as the Bay Area, or is it NBC not being able to get a doubleheader off on time? 2 minutes, go!
Oh man, this is interesting. This is like my 2 worst pet peeves ever.
And there you go. I'm sorry, man. I couldn't fucking resist.
Ass hat.
Oh, I couldn't resist.
All right, sorry. Go ahead, Landy.
No, I'm done. I'm done.
All I'm saying is, thank goodness we like each other, because otherwise there's no way this would be going on between us 4. Anyways, all right, let's go look at the stats while I reel this show back into play. Sharks outshot the Blues 27-21. The hits were just about even. San Jose had a 40-38 edge. The Blues won the face-off battle 31-27, and in that sense, Marlowe was a perfect 100%. Spalling was at 56. Thornton was at 57. Wengels was at 50. Everybody else was below 40 or below 50, with Pavs, Couture, Tierney, Ward, and Hurdle, all underneath 50% on that. Sharks went 2 for 3 on the power play. Blues went 1 for 3 on that ridiculousness, which I think we could talk about now, guys. Roman Polak took some exception of a St. Louis Blues player that was on the ice. He took a couple punches, which got him the roughing minor. Then they decided to fight, which thankfully blew the whistle just in time for Gunnarsson to get his goal waved off. Unfortunately, while I tweeted out myself, it's like, well, that was probably the best timing for a penalty by Roman Polak. Yeah. Then the Blues score on the power play goal with the former injured Robbie Fabry getting the power play goal there.
But talk about why Polak was so pissed.
Yeah, he was high sticked.
Well, see, I saw a high stick as well, but Jamie Baker's actually saying just before that the reason why he was down is because he was slew-footed, and that's what pissed him off.
Well, which you have more than enough reason to be pissed, but
Either way,
to be careful though.
Yeah, and let's talk about this for a second. Now, we're all like fucking shits and giggles and woohoo, we won. One win away from the Stanley Cup Finals. But we did go into this game wanting that the officiating would not be a story. It would not be something that we were going to have to lament, talking about the fact that Puck Guy, what's the guy's name tonight?
Eric Furlot.
Furlot. Okay. That we wanted to make sure that we didn't go into this with the fact that every game that the Blues have been in, that he's been involved with, the Blues are 3-0 in those games. Like, we didn't want to have to be all tinfoil about it, so it's nice that they get the win. But let's talk about the officiating for a second.
It was
pretty fucking atrocious tonight. I can't remember exactly what the call was, but I think it was Braun getting called for like an interference on the board or a hold, whatever it was. I don't know what it said on the screen. I don't know what it says officially. I know I don't want to get into a whole fucking what it said on the TV thing again. But whatever the call was, there was a call, and when I saw that that's what their like first call was, I was just like, really? You've let all this other stuff go? That's what you're going to go with for tonight? Now, but a lot of shit both ways. They swallowed the fucking whistle. There's, of course, a few things that you just can't negate. I mean, the too many eyes, obviously, too many men on the ice, obviously a call. Hurdle getting hooked, going in. You know what? I went back and looked at that. I don't think he was hooked. I think that was actually a blown call that they made that should not have been a call. I don't think the Sharks should have had the power play at that point, even though the guys on NBC were talking about that, hey, this could be a penalty shot. And when I go back and look at the replay, and there were some St. Louis fans that were salty about it, and I understand why. To me, it looked like he lifted Hurdle's stick. Shattenkirk lifted his stick. That wasn't a hook. So I understand why they're salty on that one. But it was some atrocious officiating tonight. Please let Wes McCauley here on Wednesday, because he's fun.
I love Wes. I love Wes.
He's just fun. And Gen X saying it was equally horse upside down face. I don't know what I guess that means horse shit. I don't. You know what? Probably from his neck of the woods. Oh, horse ass backwards. Okay. Huh. Back asswards, maybe. Oh, okay, I get it. All right, it was equally back asswards. Good job, Gen X. It's always nice to have to decipher you.
No, the worst blown call was that boarding on Nick Spaulding. He goes into the boards to negate the icing and gets slammed. And I could not believe that was not called a board or a charge or an elbow to the head. It was uncalled for, unnecessary.
Oh, on Thornton? When his lid popped off?
No, not Thornton. Spaulding.
Spaulding.
When he ran in to negate the icing. It was literally, I was yelling at my TV because it was such a blatant headshot. They didn't even call it. Didn't even mention it, and it was so infuriating.
Well, Thornton gets cross-checked so hard that his lid pops off. Referee 8 feet away, no call. I remember seeing Donskoy get tripped when there was about 3.5 left in the third, and it's as soon as I saw him get tripped, and the official is 8 feet away in the corner staring right at it, and my wife immediately goes, how's that not a call? And I said, because the Sharks are up in their zone, and there's 3.5 minutes left. That's why it didn't get called.
But at the same time, though, AJ, don't you think if that was the reversal, and they called that on us, we'd be going, oh sure, you let everything go in the third period, and then you call that? I mean, it's I
don't know. Would I rather them swallow the whistle at that point? Absolutely, because like you said, it can go either way, and that's kind of for those of you who haven't heard about the nut shot heard around the world by Draymond Green, a lot of people have pointed to that where it's like there's so many people. Is he going to be suspended? Is he not going to be? And all the Warriors fans saying, no, he shouldn't be suspended. It's like, yeah, but if he's wearing the uniform of the opposing guy, you're going to say, yeah, he should be kicked out of the NBA because of something like that. So when it comes down to where they're at that point in the game, okay, fine. I'd rather you swallow the whistle than to make the call that invokes your name into the game, because then all of a sudden it becomes, oh, well, if the official doesn't call that because he hadn't called it all game. So I totally get your point, Puck Guy. Yeah, I'm always for swallowing the whistle over injecting yourself into the game and giving people a reason to bitch or an excuse.
I'm just gonna put this out there. He happens to be French Canadian, so I'm just gonna leave that out there.
Ryan McCann saying, I'm not a swallow the whistle guy. If it's a penalty in the first, it's still one in the third, and I do agree with that. But we have to live in the real world of what the NHL actually is for some goddamn reason. I mean, how many times have we seen that where something happens in the first 5 or 6 games of the regular season, and then of course the officiating takes on a life of its own, and by the end of the season, shit that was being called left and right at the beginning of the season all of a sudden is no longer being called, and it's the same thing in the playoffs. So you know what? Like I said, I totally agree with you that if they're going to call that shit in the first period, it should be whether it's called in the first 2 minutes of the first period or the last 2 minutes of the last period. I agree with you, but I would err on the side of, you know what? Just let them play. Let the players decide the outcome.
Well, my question is this: is that I think it was in Game 4 where I feel like it was Brouwer or somebody that just laid a headshot on Hurdle.
Or on
And
the
there was
first period. Yeah.
Yeah, and there was no call. There's been no talk about it. And I'm like, okay, so apparently headshots are cool now. Whereas if that was, Pollock or anybody on that team, it would just be like, oh, the Sharks, that's a dirty play. And Milbury would probably be like, yes, if you're going to hit somebody, hit him in the head.
Let them know you're there. Back to you, Landy.
No, I just felt that holding call was baloney because we had seen holds left and right interferences that St. Louis had set up picks here and there. It's just, why are you calling that at that time? I did not get it. And then you kind of read through the stats a little bit. Each team got 3 power plays. And it was funny because they were really quick to call that Patrick Marleau trip. And I have a feeling that they've probably been instructed to make sure each team has a similar amount of power plays. It's that whole game management thing again. And I'm pretty sure that's the marching orders from the NHL because I don't think that they're wanting to see a power play dominant game, and they want to make sure that it's pretty even.
Yeah.
This episode of Pucknology After Dark Tinfoil Edition is brought to you by Snacky S'mores.
A couple of things in the YouTube chat. By all means, make sure you jump into the YouTube chat or tweet us hashtag Pucknology After Dark.
YouTube chat mentioned time to reveal the next towel. Go ahead.
Hold that thought. Brouwer with the elbow to hurdle in the first period. NBC did talk about that, according to Richard Duvall, which I believe that was correct. They did talk about, because Milbury was pissed about that, it should have been called interference. I think that's what it was. What was the other one? Chris JWS is like, if you don't like it, don't commit penalties. And you know what? You definitely got to.
That's it.
That.
No, I love that because it's the same thing. And I know, Puck Guy, you're going to totally agree with me on this. It's like the same shit in baseball. If pitchers are going to get all butt hurt when a batter does a bat flip because he cracked one, you don't like seeing that? Then stop throwing them up home runs. You know what I mean?
Yep. No,
Or you could always throw a zinger past his face.
Hey.
No, you know what though? I mean, I think for me, it's just not having a clear definition of what the penalty is. If you see, I want to see it so that if you have a hold 10 times, it's going to either be called 10 times or it's going to be called no times. I don't want it to be called 4 times. I don't want it to be called 5 times out of 10 times. It's either you call it all the time or you don't call it at all. That's what I'm asking for.
Did Eric Landy just start watching hockey tonight? Dude, it's been like this since the dawn of time.
Oh, and the playoffs are the worst. The playoffs are literally the worst.
And they're like that in every sport because everything's magnified. It's the same thing with basketball. I've been seeing tweets left and right about it, and it's all magnified because it's the playoffs. And you would think it would stand to reason that, and we talked about this earlier on Twitter, where it's the fact that, wait a minute, we're having a game that is being officiated tonight by a guy who twice has full-on admitted, we missed it, I missed it. Then it's like, well, then how the hell are you in this round? That was in the second round of the play. How the hell are you in the third round?
But I agree with that wholeheartedly. But
of course you do. It was fantastic intake.
Intake?
But
insight. I was gonna say insight, and then I was gonna say hot take, and I'm like, fuck it, I'm smashing them both together. Hashtag intake, bitches.
I'm not intaking anything from you, AJ, at all.
Oh.
At all. We just went over that way.
Then output, baby. Intake or output. There you go.
Come on. We traversed the Swallow minefield that there was. And we
I didn't say a word about it.
I'm just saying. I'm saying that we traversed that without hitting the minefield, but yet we can't go without hitting the intake.
You brought it up, man. You brought it up.
But let's put
I'm just here so I don't get fired.
Yeah. Well done, Gentry. Well done. I mean, if you think it was that bad, just look at all the Twitter reactions on the timeline once Pavelski tipped it. But we'll just leave it at that.
Should we just get the gif of or get the picture of Randy Marsh from South Park just after and just him sitting at the computer screen, just
no. No.
That's pretty much what it was equivalent to. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you can find it.
And Chris making the pivotal revelation. Move on. New topic.
Well, here's one that I was kind of proposed, or I wanted to talk about. Is Jones over the past couple of games? Is he looking shaky to you guys? Should we be concerned?
Didn't I say that earlier?
Yeah, you did say that earlier.
Yeah, he looked like he had the yips.
Yeah, but I feel like it's something that could be worth discussing because right now there's some where it's like, okay, he should have had that. Should have had that. Okay, I can understand, but that could have been savable.
Well, and I think 2 of the goals tonight could have been savable. Rocket saying that she believes that he's got an injury. I don't know that he does. I think he was just kind of amped, and he's just getting a little too aggressive. He just needs to dial it down a notch. Maybe. See, I don't want to say it on here, but maybe he needs some relaxation therapy before the game. It's the most delicate way I can put it.
Oh God!
So what you're saying?
That was PG, man. That was PG.
No. All right. I honestly
score 4 goals in a game, and that's where we'll take it.
There you go. Well done, sir. Good
Thank you.
callback.
a rooster trick. Yeah, something like that. No, I think.
That's
All right. We need to try to.
No. Honestly, though, I think that it's that him getting pulled might have messed with his confidence a little bit. I think that probably is kind of attributing to that, and it's going to take a game to kind of get back into rhythm. So I'd like to see what he looks like in Game 6.
Oh, Rocket, you want to rephrase that?
No.
You know what this is right now? We're so giddy from the win. Literally, there is a wheel from Mario Kart floating around, and this is Eric trying to grab it to steer the ship. And
I'm
it's just
trying to do it right now, please. Okay, but like Gen X said, Jones was just off. He saved the team enough. He's due for the team to save him a couple. And you know what? I completely agree with that.
No, I agree too.
And you can't have one guy be doing everything for you. And let's be real here. We can bank on Niemi or Stalock or even Naby to have a consistent game in the past decade. So kudos to what he's done so far. Yeah, he's going to have one bad game. He's going to have where it's just you can't
It reminds me of that game 2 against when we were playing Colorado in 2010 where it was just they would score, the Sharks would answer back, and then Naby let in a weak one or a quick one. It was that's what that game
or Niemi let in 3.
Yeah. But it reminded me of that where it was your goalie was having a bad game, but everybody was there to step up and take it back for you. But I think it took a little bit for Jones to kind of find it because he was making some really great saves, and his buddies Secret and Roy of the Post were also helping him out as well. That Bacchus shot where it beat Jones and it just goes off the post, I was like, ooh.
Well, the one that I would really like to see Jones have back is that one that went 5-hole with a sliver of space.
On the power play.
That pad just did not get down fast enough. That's the one I'd like to see him have back. But when it comes to these ridiculous goals, how about Wardlow's goal tonight? It's bitch, you think you can smack shit out of the air? So can we.
or Pavelski, I'm not gonna even go there. But what I'm just saying is that Pavelski thing out of midair, it's just hey, we can do that too.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That's the great hand-eye coordination. Obviously, they've been playing NHL 16 on their days off when they're not playing table tennis.
Or they personally scored 4. Either
or
way.
they personally scored goals.
Good hand-eye, baby.
So Joe Pavelski with the 2 goals and 1 assist. He was the first star. Fabry was the second star for his power play goal. Joe Thornton with 3 assists tonight. Apparently, JR said on NHL Overtime that he might be nursing a sore thumb.
Yeah, after
if
the
he
slash
if
by Bowmeister, that bastard.
No, I love it. He might be nursing a sore thumb, and he had 3 assists. Can't wait to
right.
see what he's like when he has a perfectly healthy thumb.
Right. But 3 goals, 14 assists, 17 points. To quote him tonight, I was going to look to shoot, but then I decided to pass, and it worked out okay.
FYI,
that chance that Thornton had on the doorstep. Oh,
yeah, I know. FYI for you guys, 4 of 5 players on the Sharks lead the entire NHL in points. So your points leader currently right now is Joe Pavelski at 21 points.
and
Logan
Couture.
Tied with him with 21 points. Brett Burns with 19 points. Nikita Kucherov with 19 points. And Joe Thornton with 17 points.
Just imagine how much fun this Sharks team would be to watch if Marlowe knew how to hockey. I mean, this would be really fun to watch. Where has this guy been?
Let's kind of briefly touch on that, because otherwise we're going to definitely get all the Patty haters on this. Yeah, Patrick Marleau, 10 points. I believe he does not have. Does he have a point in this series?
No, I don't think.
I thought
Maybe
he had one. I thought he has a
power
goal.
play. A power play,
Goal?
maybe?
I thought he had a goal in this series.
I'm looking it up really quickly. You guys.
I mean,
Where the hell's everybody on the Google chat now?
No, I'm currently like I don't know what
Assist.
it is with
Power play assist.
yeah.
Okay.
You've got 1 point, and I don't know what it is. He makes the big bucks and all that stuff, but you're telling me that your top guy that you're paying all this money for is, only sitting on 10, and you've got everybody else that's like going on with like 21 points, and you got the young guns, those the 2 guys. I mean, there's a reason why there's no letter on Patrick Marleau's jersey, so maybe, and I think maybe he's kind of seeing that it's like, if he wants to see that cup in his career, he's got to step it up, and he's on the right line to do so. I mean, hell, I would probably maybe I would have more points if I was on a line with Logan Couture and Donskoy. Are
Dude,
you kidding me?
Yeah, well, and McCann's saying, time for JR to call him gutless again. Maybe that'll fire him up, or maybe start talking about trade rumors or something. But he's definitely like falling off big time. I think it would be great, and I want to see the Sharks. Obviously, I want to see the Sharks win the Cup because I've been waiting for 25 years to see this happen. But there's a little part of me that wants to see them win the Cup. And then, of course, when they come out and they present it, they hand it off to the captain, obviously, and Pavelski will take it. And I'm sure the first person he's going to hand it to is Thornton. And then it would be really cool to see Thornton hand it to Burns, and it just go from person to person to person to person. And Marlowe's the last one that hasn't touched it. And whoever is currently holding on to that at that point just kind of goes, and we'll go back to Pavelski and just play keep away.
That would be great. I would love that.
Patrick Marleau, only 1 point in the series. His last goal was that put-away goal in Game 7 against Nashville.
Oh, I just read. Okay, so if you ever want to follow just some if you want to see butthurt fans, St. Louis, somebody was saying that Pavelski tip-in that was the game winner was a high stick. I'm like, do you guys watch hockey?
Oh, but yeah, well, oh my God.
It is St. Louis fans, okay? They get butthurt if any of their teams lose.
Yeah.
You mean both of them?
Yeah. Oh.
Hi-yo.
Yeah. No. All right. For those just joining us, because I see that CSN is now off the air, thank you for tuning in to Pucknology After Dark. If you want to be part of the show, please use the hashtag Pucknology After Dark. You can follow us on Twitter and ask us any questions. You can also go on to the YouTube chat to ask us anything and everything, or just comment about tonight's game. But,
and I just want to say, I was just goofing on that. If there's any Blues fans watching, we more than welcome you here.
Absolutely.
Feel free to chat. We're just goofing right now. You should have saw. We were ready to jump off buildings 2 nights ago. So we're a little bipolar here. So it's all.
I think after
all
game
well and
4,
good.
I was already preparing my letter.
Concession speech. Yeah.
Yeah, I was dear Abatha.
Yeah,
the
and
war
you
has
know
not-
what? I feel remiss. We lost an opportunity there. When Ian was on earlier, we should have taken that opportunity to mention the fantastic pregame that Chris and Ian did earlier today.
Absolutely.
With the guy from the Tampa Bay.
Mike Simmons.
And where's he from? Do you know off the top of your head?
The director of broadcasting for the Tampa Bay Lightning.
There you go. So if you get the opportunity after this is over, go back and look in our feed. Do the whole subscribe thing, and it'll show up. Ian and Chris did a great pregame for about an hour. About an hour or so before the game started. So check that out if you would, because the guy from Tampa Bay really knew his stuff, and there was some good stuff in there about Dan Boyle.
Matt Salmon.
And with that, Gentry is like, okay, I gotta go.
It was at the end of the interview, but no, Chris actually put it to a separate spot on it too. So make sure you check that out.
Cool. Because now I know that.
Guys, we are again entering uncharted territory. This will be the first Game 6 in SAP Center history for the Western Conference Final. It would also mean, to build up the drama, it'll be the very first time in SAP Center history and Sharks history that a trophy will be in the building.
Oh, yeah.
And this will be the first time ever. Not only will the trophy be in the building, it'll also be the first time that the Sharks have the opportunity to
touch or not touch.
No. To actually have the opportunity to put up a banner that says Western Conference Champions, and it actually fucking means something.
So correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the Prince of Wales trophy?
No, this is the Clarence Campbell Bowl.
Damn it. I get those two confused. All right, so it's the Clarence Campbell.
Yeah.
So are we going to take bets on if Pavs is going to pick it up or not? If we win.
Oh, God.
No, because the last time an American captain touched that, it was Zach Parise of the New Jersey Devils, and we all know how that turned out. So I think he'll stay.
Trophy, so.
Well,
still doesn't matter.
I'm just wondering. It's like, so if they were to win Wednesday night, I'm just wondering what time Puck Guy and Gentry are going to meet me at the front of the Sharks store to buy new Western Conference champion shirts.
Considering that we live an hour away, and I would have absolutely no clue as to how the world we get in there. You buy it for us. I'll come pick it up from you tomorrow.
Yeah.
That to be honest, that might actually be the best way we do it. I don't know. We were thinking. I was thinking. I think Dick's Sporting Goods might have that, but that's getting it ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, I know. Don't.
Let's not start. Slaying each other yet.
But
yes,
just if we're lucky enough for it to happen, that would be very, 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 very cool.
Yes.
And it's kind of funny because it comes in the year that we all thought that the Sharks would be a first round and out team.
No. I was on the on Teal Tinted at the beginning of the season. I thought they would be a second round and out team.
I will go on the record and say that me and Wendell had the Teal Tintiest glasses, and both said we would be going. That being said, we already know about your predictions for Game 6. I mean, it's obvious for sure what we want to happen. Let's go around the horn here, and I want to hear what, not X Factor, but one key from each one of you to what the Sharks need to do to win on Wednesday night. And I'll start with Gentry.
One key that they need to do is replicate defensively what they did in games 2 and 3. you shut them down to the perimeter, and you give and you give Jones a chance to make those saves, make sure he's seeing those pucks, and making sure that he is on his game, and then also make sure the power play is clicking. So
All
that'd be
right,
mine.
Landy.
Continue the 4-line assault on the St. Louis Blues. You've got to have that even distribution of minutes across the blue line as well. And just establish that forecheck early and be relentless. If they play like they played in Game 7 against Nashville, they'll have no problems.
AJ.
Keys to winning on Wednesday: be quicker to the puck, close space, keep them to the perimeter, and the drum that I love to beat on: win the special teams battle. But the real key to winning on Wednesday is scoring more goals than the Blues.
Holla!
Hella holla!
And in the words of our favorite portly reporter on CSN, Ray Ratto,
I was about to say, can you be more specific? But go ahead.
just win the game.
Yeah, just win the game.
No, seriously, just win the game. For me, it is 17,560. What?
Vince G says, bold strategy, Cotton. Anybody dodgeball reference? No?
No, we're just trying to understand. We all get it's from dodgeball. We're just trying to understand what is in reference to.
Just win the game.
Oh, that's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off.
Yes. Back to my key for tomorrow, or for Wednesday night. I think it comes to 17,562 fans getting insanely loud, getting your LED wristband going, getting your trowel going. Hold that image up for a second, AJ. All right.
What are we doing?
Well, what's the towel?
What's? I'm on it. Give me a second.
Well, no. But what? I thought you said you knew what the towel was for.
Why the hell would I know what the towel is?
I did he say?
No, I didn't say it. Here. Maybe this one. Maybe they got more of these. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
Nonetheless, you gotta get those towels waving.
I'm sure it'll be good.
Get your wristbands going. You need to make sure you rest your voice tomorrow. Rest your voice until about 4:30 Wednesday afternoon, and then you just let it all out. You just
scream like you're Lindsay Lohan in front of a liquor store, man. Just.
I wasn't gonna go there, but okay. But point being is, bring your A game. I mean, that's the biggest point. Whether you're the Sharks, whether you're the fans, whether you're the clerk that's at the Sharks store who's probably got to deal with crazy people wanting all kinds of souvenir pucks and hats and shirts. Towels. Whether it's the Blue Coats, whether it's SJ Sharkey, I mean, all in effort. We want it, they want it, let's go get it. No doubt about it.
And you know what we need at this point?
Don't get on. And if the Blues score first, no biggie. You keep pushing it. You keep pushing it hard, and you keep pushing until we get to the goal. And when we get to the goal, we are gonna celebrate like nothing else.
Leave it all on the ice.
Where's Eric? I'm surprised. Honestly, Puck Guy, I'm surprised you didn't have like the audio queued up right then and there of Joe Thornton saying, San Jose deserves a winner and we're going to bring a win home.
I know. I should have maybe queued up Singletary. I want winners.
No, either you're going to either do Thornton or it was just going to be like, the Belushi speech from Animal House, one or the other.
Honestly, if we were going to do anything from Singletary, is I got to look at the film. That's
Absolutely.
all. Yeah, got to look at the film.
Let me put it this way: Ticketmaster is so clogged, you can't even pick individual seats for Wednesday night right now. They have to do picking the seats for you. So be patient for Ticketmaster.
No, give up so I can get a better seat. Just give up.
Tickets are ranging from $102 to $618 on the glass. Just
Really?
yeah, that's what they're saying.
No, I'm surprised that they're cheap. I would have expected seats on the glass to be more than that, actually.
Yeah, I thought so too.
So, that being Slushy Jake, we need more cowbell. Where's 2 Unlimited? Yes, I know.
No, we need air horn.
No.
Well, I'll bring it next time. If we win on Wednesday, I'm bringing the air horn.
Oh God.
Or just have the cuckoo going.
Okay, Landy, which would you rather have? Would you rather have 3 seconds of or would you rather have enjoy Shirthouse from
All right. I'll take the ear bursting.
There you go.
Air
Thank
horn.
you.
Landy,
All right.
ignorant
That's it.
slut!
That wasn't.
I'm
That
bringing
wasn't even. That wasn't even a question. It was automatic.
Wow.
That's right. See how much people hate that puck guy?
Just for that, I'm working on my Mike Emmerich impression.
No, Mike Emmerich. You mean Doc Emmerich?
Same.
Scar!
the pause with the shot.
Waffle boarded away.
No, I think I've got the corner market on that one. And he waffle boards it away.
To this day, I've still never seen anybody use a knife on the ice, but somehow pucks get knifed. I don't know how they do it.
Or pitchforked. Or nonetheless. Final thoughts. I'll start with Gentry Alexander.
Win the damn game. That's all we need to do. But for this game, I'll say that this should be a morale booster because it shows that the Blues, there are flaws with the Blues, and you need to expose them. They're good, but they're not as good as St. Louis, but they're not as good as the Kings. We had a tougher test against Nashville, and we overcame that. This is the time for the Sharks to put one away and put us into our first Stanley Cup final. And what better place to do it in front of a packed house of fans who have been waiting for 25 years for this moment. Cherish this moment and own it and go. That's all you need to do.
Eric Landy.
We're rooting for Pittsburgh, so Pierre McGuire will not be on the Sharks broadcast.
AJ Strong.
I can't wait for Wednesday night. I want to see history. I want to see them finally win a significant trophy and hang up a banner that says champions that is significant. And in the immortal words of Rocket Backhander, Cal Clutterbuck is fucking hot. Oh, I'm sorry. It was just too funny not to do. I'm just giddy right now. I'll see you on Wednesday, man.
I will save my speech. Are you guys done? Because I have something at the end.
Oh, okay. Oh, shit. He's going to pontificate, boys. Let's all go get a drink while he pontificates, and then we'll...
great moments are born of great opportunity.
Hey, Landy.
Fuck you, Gentry.
While he's busy with this, Landy, go ahead and set up a secondary hangout that we'll all do after he's done.
Yep. This is the moment where Eric likes to recite all of the epic war.
All right, Eric.
You slut.
Do I even talk anymore now that these
Oh, we
three
ruined
guys
it.
have just killjoyed? Yeah. Well, all right. If we go to a game 7, just remember who to blame. All right. Well, unfortunately, Gentry kind of took the words out of my mouth. Great moments are born from great opportunity, and that's what we have here, Sharks fans. That's what we have here. We are one win away from going absolutely insane in Teal Town. And no matter what, you bring your A game, you bring our A game. I'm not looking at Gentry anymore. and just get loud. Wear your teal. Get crazy. Remember, when you have your teal and your logo on, you are just going to be something special. Make sure you subscribe down below. Make sure
Really?
you
That's
visit
it?
pucknology.net. I have Gentry laughing in the corner, and then you also have
Dude, I was
Landy saying, "Please mute him." Like, screw you, freaking hosers.
like
I don't
bringing
know.
in epic and dramatic music.
Oh, no. I got the music. Hang on. I have the music. But all I'm gonna say is, I feel something in the air tonight. I've been waiting for this moment all my life.
Oh God, I'm out.
Hold on. Hold on. Until Wednesday night, keep it real, keep it fresh, keep it real fresh. Good night.
Remember, boo the commissioner, Gary Bettman.